Hey everyone, welcome. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Another action-packed episode of the Wicked Wally webcast. Soon to be the best hard rock heavy metal show on the planet. Yes, we are broadcasting live on Twitch as well. We're mirrored to the Facebooks and the YouTubes, but the action's on Twitch. That's where you're going to want to be if you want to chat with us and stay part of the conversation. And I'm introducing tonight on tonight's episode. I also want to say, make sure to give us a like. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Smack that like button, smack it, and then hit that bell and help us get to 100 subscribers. Actually, there's a link down there, YouTube link down there below, and it doesn't work yet. You have to search Wicked Wally Webcast on YouTube until we have 100 subscribers. We can actually start using that link. So please subscribe if you like the show, if you're following, if you support what we're doing here. Make sure to do that. And I want to introduce live in studio for the first time is the third and final member of Team Wicked. We have Jason.
What up, Wally? How's it going, buddy?
It's going well, man.
Glad to be here. Stoked to be on the Wicked Wally webcast.
Yeah, man. It's great to have you here as well. You are a big metal fan, aren't you?
I've been known to listen to a metal song or two, yeah. It does happen from time to time.
Disharmonia Monday shirt you're wearing tonight, is that one of your favorite
That is
bands?
one of my favorites. I love these guys. They're awesome melodic metal band out of Italy. Speedstridge is one of the singers in the band.
From Soilwork, yeah.
From Soilwork.
Yeah.
A couple other guys that do all kinds of other projects. Great band. Love them.
Yeah, they're excellent. And Jay, there's a reason I wanted you here tonight. Because you have a little relation to our guest tonight. So finally, let's introduce who's on the Skype with us tonight. James Duncan from Divinity. James, welcome, buddy.
Hey, James.
What was that, man? Oh, you're cutting out there a bit. Here, let's try that again.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. We can hear you loud and clear. James, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us on the webcast.
I just said to be here. Long time no talk.
It has been a while. And actually, Jason was the one who introduced me to Divinity for the first time.
I tell everybody I ever meet about Divinity. That's usually the first thing I tell them, other than my name. Hey, I'm Jason. Have you heard of Divinity?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Divinity from Calgary. You guys have been you've been a band since 1999. You formed. So, how does it feel? Sorry. Go ahead.
So, my God.
Here, I'm going to turn down our music a bit. There we go. Is there any way to get closer to your mic?
You still see me normal? How's that?
Oh, there we go.
Maybe it's the background music coming back through or something.
It could be. Yeah. I'll just turn that music off a bit.
Well, on my pro setup here, we're using my phone mic. So you kind of get what you get.
So yeah, just to introduce you a bit, James, you are the guitarist, one of the founding members of I call you hybrid metal band Divinity because there's so many genres squeezed together. It's just like, I hear Metallica, I hear melodic stuff like Soilwork, I hear thrash, I hear traditional old school metal, I hear just everything sandwiched in between, and maybe a little jazz mixed in, jazz sensibility, because the time changes and it's just constantly altering and changing. And you've come on as well to talk about your brand new album that's going to be released later this year.
You betcha. Well, I mean, thanks for that introduction. I'm glad you see things that way with a big, lots of adjectives, trying to describe the music that you hear. So that's a great way to hear it come back. There is lots of different kinds of music in our music. So, are you still having trouble hearing me or something?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit trouble hearing. We heard you really well before the show started. Let me just turn this music right off. How about now?
Yeah. Okay, try that.
There we go.
That does seem to be.
That seems way better. Yeah, it must be music coming through like your speakers or something.
I think that's what it is. I don't know. Like I said, my pro setup, I spent a lot of money on it. And it's not
But you know what? We can hear you loud and clear now, and that makes all the difference, right?
Okay, good. Okay, well, I'm not sure where we left off, but let's start again. Thanks for your excellent introduction. First of all, that's a really nice way to hear you talk about our music, just with lots of adjectives and a colorful response to it. And also very cool to see you, Jay.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been too long, actually.
Jay, you have been a supporter of Divinity from day one. I don't even know would it have been 2000 that we met, maybe 2002, something like that. I don't know.
No, it was before 2000 because I moved to Calgary the first time in '98, and I think I met you later that year, if not early '99.
Right then,
Yeah.
at the same time. What's the first Divinity show you were at?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, trying to remember, because I was not at the first show. I was not at the backyard premiere of Divinity. I didn't.
Okay,
was there?
Were you at the one where Brent Bauer got dropped on his head by Jeremy?
Yes, I was. That was at Morgan's, wasn't it?
Oh, that was at the Underground.
Oh, through the Underground. Yeah. Because Brent was on drums. Was it Jeff on bass at the beginning too, or is this? Yeah, and then you and Sean.
Yeah, of course, the old original. But Brent had to leave. My brother had to come into the fold, and we formed a new. And yeah, cool stuff. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see you too, dude.
Yeah, your brother, who's the drummer of the band? Is that right?
So yeah, so shortly after that, the original guy Brent, he was a good friend of ours. He started with Sean. Him and Sean formed the band, and then
right.
He wasn't keeping up with the absolute metal direction that we were going to go. You know, I think we wanted to do more of a punk style or more of a looser feel kind of thing. So I just said, let's just get my brother in. And
Right.
And then yeah, we were the first iteration of Divinity. Then I call it the first. Sorry, Brent.
I think that counts. I have some videos I'm going to pull up a bit later in the show of your brother doing some drum playthroughs because he's kind of hilarious. he's got dad humor like to 11. He turns dad humor up to 11. So I was pissing myself laughing preparing for this episode. My fiance was like, "What's so funny? Like, what are you laughing at?" It's because of your brother and his silly humor.
Yeah, he's good at it. I tell him, you got to do more, keep going with it. And it's hard just to, you know, he's got dad humor, but he's also a dad.
Right.
He's proper with it.
So you said he's just got humor.
Serious. And he's really doing what he's doing. And when he tells you something, just listen to what he's saying.
Yeah. So Brett Duncan, your brother, he,
Not funny.
on your bios on your website, it actually says that there's a bunch of hobbies, and one of them is changing diapers. That's the one I noticed.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. I passed him his child because she had a dirty diaper.
Uncle doesn't change diapers, or no?
No, I'm not going to start now. No. I mean, if I had to do it, I'm sure I could do it. It would take me a long time. It would be a hard thing to get through. But for now, I'll just pass it. There you go, Dad.
Right. Well, we're talking about the band started in 1999. You were signed with a couple different major record labels. It's actually interesting because now the band's is independent. It's been independent for the past number of years. I think, and Jay, tell me if I'm wrong, I think their music's gotten even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's gotten even better. Some bands they come up with a sound and a shtick, and they lose steam, they lose creative vision. And you guys have like improved upon every aspect of your sound, every album. Like I'm so impressed, especially with this last release, the Immortalist, the 3-part release that you released prior to this was just it's up there on my like 100 best albums for sure, 100%.
Thank you so much. That's so awesome to hear you say that.
Love it.
Well, yeah, and that's, you know, it's really about songwriting. That's what we've always tried to do. The most important thing is the song.
Right.
If the riff is good, everyone knows it's good.
Yeah.
You know, I write riffs, but none of my riffs.
Right. None of them are shit. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not the best. Some are better. Like maybe a band like Necrophagist or Obscura could melt me riff wise. Fine, but I still got a good riff. So when everybody else likes the riff and they're saying, "Hey, that's a good riff," okay, and they do something and the energy is formed. Like that, the most important thing at jam is when it's a good day or a bad day. So you show up with everybody and it's like, "Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, blah, this is going on. Let's play." So we start to play. The magic's there or the magic is not there. And everyone knows it, just like the good riff or the bad riff or the good song and bad song.
Right.
Like, you put on Spotify new releases. Just I don't know what I want to listen to right now. I'll push play. You and I both know 90% of it is not that great. And it's not that great only because you recognize that the song isn't that great. It's not that the production or the singer or the whatever it might be. It's just that overall the song's not that good. So just skip it. I don't really want to hear that. It's annoying, or it didn't really hook me, or I don't like this style of vocals right away, or the style of drumming or whatever it might be. But that's, again, like I don't want to sound like an elitist, but I am in my own way, like we all are. We like what we like. So it's really nice to work with people the whole time in my whole career of music. I started with Brett, my brother. Him and I, we learned piano, we learned guitar, he learned bass, he learned drums, and we just played Metallica and Slayer and Kiss and AC/DC and all this, and we learned how to do it together. So now I can just turn on my amp. I don't care if my guitar's even in tune. I'll make riffs with Brett for hours on end. We could just play, just jam. He'll change the feel, the whatever. He'll stop, he'll start, he'll do something here, do something there. I'll follow him all day long because I know how. So, in that way, I'm lucky to have people that are on the same wavelength. And that does come through in the music. And we're proud of the music we make. We wouldn't call it the best music ever, or ours is better than anyone else's. It's more along the lines of, we really like this music and do listen to it as well. Like when I'm driving down the road, I will listen to my own albums. Some people don't do that. I don't know why.
Why would you make music that you don't enjoy? Like if you don't enjoy it, how could somebody else like it, right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
That's the whole thing. It's what are you doing it for? And that leads me to an interesting thing that I was hoping I could bring up, is that back in the day, before my brother was even the drummer, and I met Sean and we were writing these songs, and he had more songs than I did. Sean was at 16 years old and I was 18. He had way better songs than me. I didn't really have any songs. I had some riffs and stuff, but that's it. He had full songs written in a Metallica style with clean parts, solos, harmonies in his vocals. I couldn't believe it, But when we started to work together a little bit and I learned how he worked and how he learned how I worked, we made a conscious decision to not try to be a famous band. Something like that. It's hard to explain, but I think the conversation basically went, let's be an underground band that everyone says, "Oh yeah, those guys are good."
Okay, yeah. You've achieved that for sure.
Instead of trying to be the next Metallica.
Right.
Which you should bring up later, because the big promoter, Finberg, the big fool there, you heard about all that? Yeah, he asked Sean on the phone when we tried to get some shows with him. He asked Sean, "What, do you think you're the next Metallica?"
I mean, Metallica's Metallica. Who wants to be the next Metallica? You want to be would it be bad though to be that successful? Would it be like a curse to be that successful and people just love the music that you want to put out?
Who knows? That's like living the dream, man. If you had a Lamborghini, would you go 260 miles an hour? I don't know. If I had a mountain, would I do it or not?
Well, at least you got to take your Lamborghini up that fast at least once and try not to wreck it. Yeah, the key's not to wreck it when you do it that one time.
Yeah, right. Well, we've all heard stories of that. That's how it works. You'll wreck it. You'll wreck yourself if you get to. Look at these guys. James Hetfield, of course, he's my biggest hero musically. If I met James Hetfield, I would forget his name, even though I have the same name. I would forget it completely. I just stare at him and be like, because know what to say to the guy. But look at how he has gone. He's in rehab again, I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just came back out.
Oh, I
right,
didn't
right
hear
before
that.
S&M2, he came back out, yeah.
The only Metallica news I heard was the stupid Miley Cyrus news. I don't know if you heard about that.
Is that Metallica news or Miley Cyrus
That's
news?
Miley Cyrus news. She's doing a Metallica covers album. Did you hear about that?
Fuck off. Let's see battery.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Just before we go forward, that was awesome, James. I just want to let folks know that we have a special treat tonight. So whoever's tuned in, you want to stay tuned. James was nice enough to let me listen to the album. I believe was that the whole album, James?
That's it. You get 5 songs. Well, it's 6 songs with the instrumental part in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to be released on December 11th. Finally, we just had to pick a date.
Okay.
But yeah, let you listen.
Right. I fucking loved it. And not only fucking loved it, you gave me the opportunity to like listen to the album, tell me what you think. And I really enjoyed the latest album. I think it's a bit of a mix of what you guys ended up doing with your last release and sort of pulling back from some of your older sound as well. I think you're kind of mixing in some of the stuff that you've kind of fine-tuned over the years, and you're going a little bit back to your roots a little bit, or am I off on that? And plus, we're going to listen to a song from it, by the way. James allowed me to pick which song from the album we're going to preview for the first time ever on the show here tonight. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, if you listen to The Immortalist, that's a different Divinity.
Yes.
Me on guitar only. There's no Sasha involved. Now, we haven't talked about Sasha, like he was the biggest. He's like the Alex Skolnick of Divinity in the allegory and the singularity.
Right.
We were known for technical guitar work, and a lot of that came from Sasha's influence into the band. So when we were back in the day, Jay and I are partying. Jay remembers well, we were playing Machine Head and Metallica and Slayer covers.
Right.
Trying to be an Obscura or some technical band. We didn't even know what that was yet.
Okay.
So when we met Sasha and we started down that road immediately, it was ironically right after I heard Soilwork. And Jay and I would have, you remember, Jay, when I was living with Dustin and Angus and
you guys were listening because that's when you got me into Soilwork. It was the Predator Portrait album, because like every time I went over to your house, Grand Failure Anthem was always playing.
Every freaking day. Change the CD, it would just get changed back.
So just so folks know, he's talking about Sasha Laskow, previous member of the band, guitarist in the band, and producer as well. He's a local producer in Calgary. He mixes a number of albums still, either in the city. He's got his own project. We were listening to some of his tunes recently. I hope that's okay, because he gave me permission to play it on the show. But Every Hour Kills is a great project from him. But you're saying, James, this is the first time you kind of had to take the lead on things in The Immortalist, but it sounds amazing. Like I said, Immortalist, like I said, is right up there in my top list of albums. So if that's more your influence, I like what you did with it, man. I like where you went with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and thanks for getting me back on track. If you know me, Jay knows me well.
Right, I'm gonna be doing that the whole show. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let him talk. No, I gotta interrupt him a lot. So, sorry, buddy.
You're the guy that's got to do that in this conversation.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So going back to that, when we started listening to Soilwork, it was immediate. I wrote Strain, the song on Allegory. That was the first song that I wrote. And we met Sasha right away after that. He came in and blew our minds with his guitar playing.
Yeah.
And, he's just this nerdy dude like me. He's wearing glasses.
Him and I interviewed him on my old show. We got along really, really well, but you're right. I'm a nerdy dude too, so we got along pretty well.
We're smart people, right? We're not stupid. We're not like, I don't know, 14 times 42, I could never figure that out. No, we're intelligent people who know what we're doing, and we create music that's intelligent thinking. We're trying to think about something here. So Sasha was a very big part of that, trying to get us, or I'm looking back as a story, but trying to get where I was going to be as a musician. Where am I going to be? Well, show me Dream Theater, and then show me Hypocrisy, and then show me Mayhem, and then show me, the craziest shit that I've ever heard.
Is the name of the new album still a secret? Because I couldn't find it anywhere. Is it still a secret?
No, it's Invention.
Oh,
Right? Hey, here,
okay.
hang on. I'm saying that going into that whole world of technical metal, we've never left now. It's like
Right.
you get dropped into the zone, and then this is where we are now, and we're living this world now. So when we got shot into Singularity, let's say, we've already done Allegory, we've already done all this, and we get into Singularity, we were fully tech. And then when the band dissolved, we came back to as the exact same thing we were before, but Sasha wasn't there anymore.
Right.
So that was a big change. So what do we do? How do we do this? And many friends told me, don't worry, we'll find somebody to play guitar. You can find guitar players. You can find somebody. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. You're not just going to replace Sasha. He was irreplaceable, and we're a band of brothers. So we had to figure out how to do this. Because sure, let's get a new guitar player then. Well, he better be freaking able to beat Sasha.
Right.
And no one Sasha, so it's not going to happen. So I just said, screw it. I'm doing it all myself. So we just wrote them all.
Bands that Sasha has worked with, I talked to him. I know I talked to bands that Sasha's worked with, and they all kind of like they love him, but then they hate him because he writes these guitar parts that are insane for them to perform, and then they're like, I have to do this live now.
Well, just for context, Sasha was in a band with Jared, who's also the singer, of course, of Every Hour Counts. They had a band called The Race before that Divinity knew well. We saw their website and listened to their music and said, oh, better step this up. Who are these people? But if you listen to the song Conquer Man, his solo in there is about 10 seconds long, and it's so mind-melting that I'm not sure how you could ever duplicate something so grand. It's that good. So he used to use that for a warm-up all the time. Just play that times.
No problem. Just play it.
Oh, yeah. So back to where we are now, we're lucky enough to get Gord Olson involved. And we asked Gord, being the guy that he is around town, he's one of the best guitar players you ever seen, right? He's awesome. But to join the band, he said, yeah, I dig your music and stuff, and you guys are cool, but I can't do it. I don't have the time. I've got other projects. Like he was working before that with Keith Merrill. Was that the train? Yeah,
that was the train.
Yep.
I live right by the train. I got a big yard. It's awesome. And then the train comes by and rocks you. Anyway, working with Keith Merrill on that Demisery album, which I was digging a lot. And, hey, Gord, join Divinity. But it took a while to get him involved. But once we did, he was in, and he filled the void that Divinity had. There was a true void of pure shred ability. Like I can shred and play great, and I can do my stuff. Yeah, I'll hold my own. But when it comes to playing like someone like Alex Skolnick from Testament, or Marty Friedman, somebody like that, that's next level solo player.
Here,
Specific part of the engine.
I'm going to pull up a photo of all you guys in the band. Because talking about all these people, I want to show everyone when they watch this who everyone is. And I actually have a quick question about this photo. This most recent publicity photo you guys took. It's pretty good. Hold on. I have a quick question for you. Okay, we're going to pull this up. And my question is... There, we see the band there. Everyone's looking pretty good, right? And... There we see you there, James. Second from the left. We have we've got Sean in the middle, and then you're talking right now about Gord on the far right, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, with his awesome beard. So one question I have when I look at this photo is, when are you going to shave your head?
I was just talking about. I get off track bad, but I made a big long road trip for work. Had to do some stuff, some parts. People, I got my mission accomplished. Luckily, on my way back, my parents' place is right on the way. So I got to stop there. Mom and Dad cooked me an awesome steak barbecue supper. I had a sleep in my old room, and took off this morning. Even got to fire off a few shots on Dad's new 6.5 Creedmoor rifle. That's pretty sweet if you like, a good hunting rifle.
Yeah.
Long story. I had a great day. And where the hell was I now? What was I talking about?
Well, we were talking about you were the only guy having hair.
Having hair in the band. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. I was talking to my mom this morning about it, saying, Mom, I think I might just do it right away.
Shave the head off? Shave the hair off? Yeah.
See, that's so funny because quite a few years ago now, you guys were on a mission to all grow your hair long.
Right.
Because you wanted to look more metal.
That's nearly 2 decades ago that we made it.
Was that long? No, come on now.
Yeah. No one can grow the hair anymore. Probably a lot of it's. I think only maybe your new bass player. He looks like he's got a full head of hair. That's what's
No.
Adrian, right?
Adrian.
Yeah.
I'm sure he might be able to grow some good hair, but he's not going to. I don't know what to say about it. It just proves we're old, but it I don't know why I'm hanging on. That's Brett's thing. My brother always says, he's like, why are you still hanging on?
He's just jealous because he can't do it anymore.
That's right.
Of course. I just want him to grow like the side one out.
Do the old Devin Townsend skullet type hairdo?
The horseshoe? Yeah.
If you shave this, it'll be all over social media. I'll make sure I do like the full-on skullet.
Right.
Shave the top perfectly.
All right, so how about we check out some tunes from the album? I do have Devoid queued up, although we could check out the new song from the album. I don't know if we want to jump into that now.
Okay, well we've already released Primeval. People have heard this one. We've already released Devoid.
Right.
People have heard, and then there's 3 main songs and 1 instrumental, which is just, I wouldn't call it a filler, but it kind of is. It's a bridge for the album to move forward, so it's not really a song per se. I wouldn't use it as a song, but there's 3 other songs. So yeah, I do want you to tell me one you want to.
Which one I picked? It's actually kind of funny because I didn't know the name of the album. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I kept listening to the album over and over again, and I'm like, this track just kept standing out to me. This is the song I wanted to play, and it's Invention. It's the title track from the album, actually.
Dude, awesome. I've actually heard a couple people say, I think even the guys in the band, they said with Invention, because I wrote Invention.
Nice.
So Gord wrote Devoid as a full song. And
right.
just was like, here's my Divinity song.
like the drum parts and everything, like he just programmed drums, or does he play drums too?
He does play drums. He did have everything programmed.
Holy shit.
He didn't have the vocals going on.
Holy shit.
All the beats, basically. But Brett took the beats and reworked it.
Sure,
I don't know. It's been like 2 years since we worked on that one. But yeah, it's cool how Gord was able to write the songs that were instantly divinity-able.
he understood your sound, because it sounds like a Divinity song. It doesn't, like, he wrote it himself, but it fits perfectly in with your sound. It's not a departure. Like it's fresh, but it still sounds like you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It worked so well. And he wrote Warmonger as well, and then I wrote Primeval and Epicaricacy and Invention. So that's the thing. Invention seems to be the one that found its stride.
Yep. I would totally agree. All right, let's pull this up. Let's listen to it. And
there it is.
There it is. That was and that's it. That's
a great, excellent new song.
All right, so here we go. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna cover you up, James, and we are going to put up a little visualizer. Or actually, maybe not. We don't need to. Actually, probably don't need to cover you up. We can just listen to it. Oh, I'll put it in the corner. I want something interesting to look at while we're listening to it. Well, here, I'll put this up here. I want something interesting to look at while we're listening to the song.
Sure.
All right, let's make sure this is off. Yep. All right, let's do this.
this visualization now. Forever burned in my memory as part of the song.
So groovy. Oh. Just incredible. Brings it all together with that guitar solo. Oh. It smooths it all out.
Wally likes it.
Wally loves it, man. I honestly thought Devoid was going to be my favorite song on the album, but it's this song. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, man.
World premiere.
Holy shit. World premiere. And here it is again, one more time. Holy shit! Thanks so much, James, for letting us preview that song, or premiere that song for the first time on this show. Really appreciate it. I want to actually turn over to Jay. That's his first time hearing it. As you can tell, I was singing along. I listened to the song a number of times.
I feel it's such a disadvantage here.
Well, actually, I want to hear, Jay, I want to hear your reaction. What do you think of the track? It's your first time hearing it.
First time hearing it?
Yeah.
Well, it's unmistakably Divinity, without a doubt. You can hear James all over that song. I like it. It seems like it tells a story. It transitions through different tempos, it's high, it's low.
Right.
That's a really fantastic sounding song. I would like to listen to it a few more times. Absolutely, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people that if an album is too chaotic for too long, it gets a little bit draining to listen to. I love metal, I do, and I love the heavy shit. But if there isn't some kind of I don't know if you want to call it a break, I don't know what you want to call it, but some sort of way to ease you down a little bit, then it gets
just gives you a second to breathe.
It almost gets boring in a sense, and that song is not boring. It constantly is constantly bringing it back in with something really melodic, with something really catchy. I think that's the catchiest song for me in the album, and that's probably why I was singing along to it. There's those catchy elements, and then there's like the really brutal shit as well. So let's see what James thinks of our critique.
Yeah, well, how else can I explain any of the stuff that I'm trying to make?
Well, I think you explained it by putting the song out there, right?
That's true.
You can do is just go like this and think that, well, I mean, I listen to Soilwork, you listen to Soilwork, I listen to Opeth, and you listen to Opeth and Cannibal and frickin' Metallica and AC/DC, whatever. I don't like AC/DC. Yeah, whatever, you do so.
No, I don't. You know I don't.
Right? So whatever you think of it. But I mean, when I listen to it now, all I hear is all the mistakes. So in the bridge, there's it does that little high weird ding, 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 and I did like this extended kind of power chord where it's out of tune. It's totally out of tune. But I wanted it that way because it sounded grindy just in that one spot. So I hoped that when Chris went to mix it, that he didn't fix it.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He left it alone. Just like Sean's vocals are a little bit out in the other bridge.
Right.
They're not quite in tune. But then you listen to the chorus, and it's so deadly, like big and huge, and all the harmonies. Like my invention. Like, what do you think? I just made this shit all perfect, and it's always just perfect, and it's just beautiful and pristine. No, it's messy and sloppy, and we don't know what to do with it all. That's the thing. Invention is the album track, or the title track, right? That is the whole idea. Jeff came up with the word and actually phoned me, and he's all excited, and he's like, I came up with it's invention. His invention. He's like, dude, think of it, the whole concept, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, just invention.
Invention.
It took him about 5 minutes to get me to listen to him because I was like, invent something. Ooh, you're an inventor now. Great. Like, and he once I got on his wavelength, it was like, okay, now I get what you're saying. Invention. Everything is right there. That's what we're doing here. We're just inventing ourselves in every moment. You're trying to figure it out. Like, does the brain surgeon know how to really fix you? No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what's going on at all.
So
does the electrician know how electricity works? No, he does not. Well, no. He's doing it in the moment.
Magnets, how do they work? Anyway.
This song is everything. I tried to put a lot of the feel of, like, there's runs and some, if you know Divinity songs, like stuff from the Singularity, you'll notice that I did rip off a song, and I've done that to myself before, but I never did that to one of Sasha's riffs, but I totally ripped it off, and it's a little different, but to me, in my mind, like, if he heard it, he'd be like, nice one, dude. But anyways, like, I tried to take the elements for sure and make sure that it sounded like Divinity should sound. And when I read some reviews of The Immortalist, not that I give a shit what anybody thinks, but you do in some ways. You don't want everybody to shit on all your work. You want people to say, hey, work, I like it. So you do well and you try to make something grand. But one of the things that I did notice was that yeah, it's, you know, the Immortalist is good, but it's missing some elements of classic Divinity that I was enjoying. And I'm like,
Yeah. Okay. So I hit it.
Yeah.
I hit the nail on the head.
You did.
Wow. Okay. Not only did I pick the right song, I hit the nail on the head in terms of what the album sounded like to me. Some classic Divinity mixed in with what you guys came up with in the Immortalist. So great. All right. So I know a little bit about music apparently.
good job.
What I wanted to do is I want to keep the entertainment value going. So I actually wanted to pull up. You mentioned earlier your brother and some funny videos of his. Do you mind if we pull up one of his drumming videos that I thought was hilarious?
Go nuts. He deserves it. He deserves fame and fortune.
And there's not a lot of views on these videos, so that's also another reason I wanted to highlight them, because it's like, you know what, this is pretty hilarious. It's almost sad that it's not getting more views. So we'll pull this up here. This is Divinity Drumming with Breath, Paste Cymbals and New Music. So let's just check this one out. We're going to pull it up. Pull up here. Okay. Oh, this is going to... I might be laughing throughout the whole thing. And it's actually the end of another video that made me laugh the most. So we're gonna check that out after as well.
That's a perfect thumbnail too.
Today we're talking about Paiste cymbals. I got new ones and they're awesome. I'm as excited as a brand new baby in a room full of big milk boobs. Recently, I've been looking to upgrade. I wasn't really happy with where I was going. Same kind of sounds that I've been using over the years, and kind of wanted something different for making this new album. Paiste cymbals were always like that really attractive woman that you didn't have the balls to talk to, and you really wished you did. Well, I finally got the balls to talk to that attractive woman. I reached out to the Paiste rep in Canada. I said, I'm looking to play Paiste cymbals. And he said, okay.
Did he now? Good story.
The Rude series and the Signature Precision series. I have one over here that's the PST series. It's the Swiss cheese series, as you can see. Sounds broken right out of the box. The first thing I noticed about these cymbals compared to the last ones was the clarity. There's something about the way that a cymbal sounds in your mix compared to the cymbal sounds in your ears. When we put them into the mix, they sounded much better. And that was the first thing I realized about this cymbal in particular, the Wild China, was that I didn't like how it sounded in my ears, and I loved how it sounded in the mix. New music today. We've got a song that's rocking at 180 beats a minute, doing some double bass stuff, some thrash beats, really cool tune. There's a tempo change in this one. It goes down to 120, and it slows down, but the song is actually a thrash part, so you have to double time inside the 120, so it feels like 240, even though the click is at 120.
That made perfect sense, actually.
Now is we're playing at 240, and then the click goes from 120, and it speeds back up to 180 during the exact same riff. And I have to catch that on the drums, keeping the kicks the same, and the hands change. So it's really tricky to catch that time change. It's very hard to do, so let's see if I can do that right now.
Well, obviously not, because he's got a different shirt on, so he didn't do it right then.
Good catch. I didn't catch that when I watched it the first time. Oh, they maybe had to set up the other camera? Maybe. I think that's Sean, if I'm not mistaken. Is that Sean filming, or is it got the cool...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that drum kit, man.
Yeah, Brett's always had a monster drum kit.
Fuck. Wow. It's just so impressive to watch him play.
This is why I'm not a drummer. I could never remember where to hit what at what time. It's a lot of stuff to hit.
the time change there. It's just like awesome.
He got it. He did it.
Yep, he did get it. Maybe not in the first take.
Just not right then, but he got it.
Stop!
Like a Jim Dennis video.
Thanks for watching Drumming with Brett.
Now he's back to the red shirt.
Thanks for watching. I don't know why.
Cancel.
You mean you don't want to watch some ads? Or whatever it may be. Oh man. Okay. One more thing. There's an ending of another one. We won't watch the whole thing, but he's drumming in an alley. I think this was in BC. You guys were in BC?
I forgot about that one.
Okay. We're gonna pull one more up, and I got it zoomed. I got it near the end of the video, just because this is what he says at the end of this video. I was pissing myself laughing. So.
So that's what I call street drumming with Brett. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's great, but it's something. And something is better than what a lot of people have. And that's kind of what I'm trying to give back to the community. Thanks for checking out Drumming with Brett. I'm your host, Brett.
It's something. It's more than what a lot of people have. That's what I'm trying to get back to the
What a
community.
good human being. You just don't get that kind of quality human being out of a lot of people. That's
Holy fuck.
You know how the world is so divided these days, right?
Yes, it is. My God.
To Brett, that doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is people who like and respect Seinfeld, and those who say stupid things like Seinfeld's not funny.
Really? Now, not every episode's great, but overall,
that's where he
Seinfeld's
draws
great.
the line. That's the line.
That's what I can come up with right now.
Yeah,
That one's gold. I mean, he's given back to the community in ways that no one really does. I mean, he's found a way to give back to the community that is so unique and so giving. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it's
else to tell you.
in a way people just didn't know they needed. So
This is the thing. This is the thing. Once this catches on and starts to bloom, then we're gold.
world peace.
only
Give Brett a TV show. If you gave Brett a TV show and let Jeff be the producer, and I'll make sure that he doesn't go too crazy, but it would be perfect. Just Jeff, make whatever you want. Tell Brett to do whatever. Just go. It would be hilarious, you know. But as you know from all your technical issues before we started, and my technical, it's not that simple to just throw a video together and make a show.
No, it's not.
In line, and so Brett's been pretty good to try to keep putting out videos. You know, he does have those kids that he still has to maintain and feed.
Maintain and feed. I can tell you're not a dad. I'm assuming from that comment, and you never plan to be, right?
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm way out of the loop, man.
Maintain and feed. As long as you keeping them alive is the most important part,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
That's true. But your kids are guitars. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, something like that. I got to take care of them, and you'll see one doesn't have. It's missing a string. The middle one's missing. a string.
So you got a pretty cool background behind you. You got posters up. You got guitars up. You got an LED strip by the looks of it. Do you stream? Do you have online content, or it almost looks like a streaming room from here?
Well, that's cool because I do fuck all. And this wall is just the wall that I just put this together kind of. I pulled out some old posters and I have, some stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Got this strip for $30 on Kijiji. It worked out great. It even ended in the exact spot I needed it to. Like I didn't measure it. I just went along the bottom, wanted to go up the side, over here like this, boom, it ended in exactly the right spot. But here's what I did. I just came home and set the phone here because I just drove 7 hours from Saskatoon.
Oh, shit.
So I forgot about this today. I remembered yesterday and the day before. But today,
right.
And it came up on my phone, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is what I got to do when I get home. But continuously driving. Finally get here. I just set the phone here like this, and I was like, "That's pretty good. That'll work.
Yeah, it looks good.
I think that'll work." But I should do more. I want to do more. One of my issues is I really need to upgrade my computer. I'm using the same computer since Allegory for everything. I recorded all the guitars on this computer. It's the biggest piece of shit. I think my operating system is 10.06 or something. What is it at now?
On a Mac, it's way up.
I have no idea.
But what I need it to do is record direct guitar. That's it. That's all I really need. And I create all my stuff. It works, for drums and MIDI stuff and all this. It works fine. So it's still working. But I need to upgrade my system very soon here.
Yeah,
it's always that. Hey, when this car dies, I'm gonna get a sweet new car. But your car still runs. So what are you gonna do? Like, get rid of it? No, it runs. It works great.
Yeah, here I'll show you my setup here. So this is kind of what it looks like now. The room's kind of boring, and that's something I'm going to be working on. I got plans, I've got things I've ordered, and things coming, so it's going to be more exciting. But you actually inspiring me. You don't even stream, and your background looks kind of cool. So you've inspired me. I got to make sure I work on this. In a couple of streams from now, it should be.
I think in a roundabout way, he's asking if you can borrow your guitars and posters.
Yeah, actually, can I? Sorry, was that James? Oh, say that one more time. It cut out for whatever reason.
I said just get a print. Get somebody to print you something. It goes on the wall that looks like something crazy.
Actually, screenshot this like that and put this on the wall.
Just print it on the put it on the wall. No one will know the difference.
I don't care. Use it. Guitars are awesome. I'm really supposed to be saying their name everywhere I go. Schecter guitars are awesome.
Sorry, what was that? Which guitars?
Schecter guitars.
One more time. I heard those are good guitars, and I don't know anything about guitars.
Sorry,
I like them.
Sorry, what kind of guitars?
All right, when the guy that's promoting him says that's enough.
Yeah, exactly. So looking through your social media, and I like to do that for these things because you can always find interesting things. I want to pull up a photo, and this.
Social media?
Huh?
You said you're looking through my social media or the
no the bands. No, we did have a band on recently, the myopia condition, and they all had their personal. They had all their personal Instagram pages linked to their band page on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, now that's fair game. if you're putting your personal pages all linked on your band Instagram, then now it's fair game. Yeah, no. James, we're friends. We've met at shows a couple times, and we've friended ourselves on Facebook. That would be pretty dirty for me to go through your personal Facebook and look up shit unless you posted stuff like that to a band page or something like that. So I wouldn't do that. Don't worry, buddy. But still, it's fun. But what I'm going to pull up isn't embarrassing. It's just something that I want you to tell me about because this happened in very recent history. We're going to pull this up on our second screen here, and here we're gonna. I want you to comment on this photo, if you can see it.
Gladly.
There we go.
Yeah. What a grand time.
So folks can see that there. That is the boys, and right there, if you can see them, okay. It's probably a little tough to see them, but we have Devin Townsend right in the middle. You guys did a 4-stop tour with them in the past couple. Was 2 years ago now?
I don't even know. Time is dilating, so I don't know when it was. It was about 2 years ago. No, it was a little more. I think it was 3 now. But that was awesome. That was a great time. We ironically, Devin was the only guy in the bigger extreme metal scene that we hadn't really shared the stage with. Like pick an awesome metal band in Canada, and we've probably played with them in the extreme world, right? Like from Topsy to 3 Inches of Blood or whoever all the way across all the main guys. And we prided ourselves on that at a point. You know, you'd be like, yeah, playing with Beneath the Massacre again. These guys are so awesome. And you got it. They force you to up your game. And we did all of our touring in Quebec. So we knew all those guys. But on the West Coast, Devin Townsend he's the guy. I mean, we all love his music, especially Sean showed me Devin's music way back in the day, and I couldn't handle it. Literally, I was like, I don't know, man. This strapping young lad shit's crazy. I don't know. I really like it. It's scaring me, you know. And he's like, "What are you talking about? This is awesome." But he also said Meshuggah sucked. But the point is that we've been listening to Devin for so long that when we got the opportunity to do that tour, and again, we've hung out and played with all his other bandmates projects in the past as well. Like we've known Ryan and Beeve and Dave for years too, but never really shared the stage with Devin.
Right.
Devin talked to Sean and I about the Singularity and gave us props on it and stuff back in the day.
Nice.
Oh, Devin says this nice things about us, you know, that's awesome. But to share the stage with him was what we would want, right? We'd love to just tour with Devin. So when we got the opportunity to do it right in our home area, Western Canada, it was just awesome to do that. And it was the best time. Devin was a light for everyone. Yes, that's what he does. He makes light for people. Here's my issues. Here's my problems. Here's my madness of a world. Here, take it. See if this helps you, because I've formed it into a little diamond. It refracts light. Now look at it, and maybe it'll soothe your soul. So I told him back in the day when he talked to me about Singularity and said those cool things, I said, you make music that we live by, because when we get in the tour van and head across the country, we're listening to your albums constantly, and it's the soundtrack to our lives. And it's, you know, you don't want to make the guy out to be the next Jesus, because you're not trying to put people on pedestals or anything, but at the same time, his music is as important to all of us in the band as Metallica's music, you know? So,
yeah, and well, Sean, the lead vocalist of Divinity, lists Devin Townsend as one of inspired him as one of his inspirations for music as well. So that's influences. That's what I was meant to say. So that's pretty cool that you guys get to actually meet the band. You guys have toured. You toured overseas. You've done a lot of touring. I'm curious, what is one of the best experiences you've had on tour? And what is one of the worst experiences you've had on tour? Can you think of anything for that?
Man, I got a million each way. There's a million things. Where would I start? So you want the best? Well, honestly, that Devon tour was the best in some ways, because it was feeling overall. All the crew members, all the people in the bands, everything that we did each day felt great. You know, you felt like you were a part of the team. They wanted you to be there. And we're used to being an opening band. You know, we've headlined lots of shows and stuff, but we're not a headlining band. We're not a big enough band to be a headliner. We tag onto other tours and get great stages. That's what we try to get, right? As an intermediate band, you try to get the best stage possible.
Right.
With Devon, each time we stepped on stage, we felt so powerful and so like a unit, like we're supposed to be there. Like, this is where we're supposed to be. This is feeling proper. Even if you didn't play 100%, you know, because some shows you're like, oh man, I just wasn't doing it. It wasn't working. Like, you try to shred the high part and go diddly 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 diddly, and you got to grab that big note, and then you flubbed it, and that was your only chance. Like, you're instantly an amateur to yourself, right? But even if that happened, we still felt like total success. That was great. Perfect. I hope the crowd loved it. And then when we Calgary,
audience doesn't usually notice those kind of small things, though. They're usually, as long as the band overall is solid, they're along with you for the ride.
Well, of course, and I've seen so many shows, of course, too. I watch bands myself, so I know how that works. But
right.
in the moment, doesn't work like that in your own
Sure,
mind.
in your own head. Yeah, your own worst critic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am too, so I know exactly what you mean. Especially doing this and having technical issues.
Yeah,
and
you were
stuff
just
like
telling me about all the stuff that you were nitpicking on before the show.
I
that
know,
I
I
didn't
know.
even notice in some of your previous shows.
Well, every single show I want to make it better though, and that's the thing. Like it's kind of it's a mixed bag. You want to be somewhat critical of yourself and self-aware, because if you're not, everything I do is amazing, and you're never gonna. Why improve? Right? Why try to get better?
Well, if you think you're amazing, you're probably not.
right. And if you're like, well, they could do this better and that better and this and this and this. And so far, folks have been very supportive, and they said, hey, it looks great so far for a brand new thing. It's already looking good. You're doing well. So I'm happy to hear those things. But I'm like, I got this idea, and this can be better, and this screwed up last time. I'm gonna fix it this time. Like I'm just excited that all our cameras are similar colors this time. You don't look yellow like you're from The Simpsons, Jay. That was thanks to a buddy of mine who helped me fix this. So all these little technical things just to slowly make things better. And actually, James, thanks to you, buddy, for coming on the show so early. Like, this is like beta testing right now, and you came on to promote your new album. And Divinity, like you said, is a mid-tier band. You could have been like, I don't want to talk to this guy, but I really appreciate
I think
you coming on.
Divinity is much bigger than your show, I think.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jay. I really appreciate that.
That it not me. Well, I mean, it's totally fun, and I do miss doing this kind of thing more. We've changed as a band a lot in the last few years, right? When we were on Nuclear Blast, I couldn't wait to get another call I just park wherever I was, and there would be a list of constant interviews that we'd have to do.
Right.
I'm the most talkative, so most of the time. So I'm talking to people all over the place, and sometimes I was doing 3 a day, but see, for you to hear that, maybe somebody's listening who hears that and they're like, wow, crazy. You're like doing interviews with people all over the world, and your video on YouTube is just getting tens of thousands of views every day. It's just going
Right.
up and up and up.
Right.
Watching it as you refresh it. But that's just the cool little kickbacks that you get for continuing on with just working hard and doing stuff. Like, that doesn't
Right.
get me anything back. I don't get anything back from that. There's no like monetary gain or like, all of a sudden we're bigger and better now, and you can see this thing building. No, you can't. You can only see it building when I talk to you now about these things and get
Right.
We could sit together for a week. What if we were stuck in a frozen cabin and there's no way to get out? Please don't eat me. What are we going to do for a week while we're stuck here? Well, we're all going to have to talk. So let's talk. We could do this for a week, and we wouldn't come close to sharing each other's true lives or all the experiences that we had or why we are talking about them, right? So it's just cool to get back into it, and you're maybe getting some of the dust off of me too, because we need to do more of this stuff and talk to people, and this is the new world. It's going to happen more and more.
Right.
And why not?
Right.
And whatever. We can discuss stuff like this over the internet. Good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I listen to people talk on the internet all fucking day.
So do I.
Yeah,
Actually.
so do I.
So do I.
2 cents then, and that's great.
Yeah. Dusting cobwebs off for sure. It's some folks who probably people who watch the show now know me. I was on the radio for 3 years, and it was just community radio. It was a volunteer gig. It was nothing fancy, but in those 3 years, I built a little bit of a following, and people got to reach out to people and do some cool things. So and I just want to continue to do that. I enjoy this. The thing I enjoyed the most from doing that show, and it was more of a music program in the past, is the chit-chat. I enjoy talking to people. So I enjoy what we're doing right now, shooting the shit, talking about music, talking about what you do, and then just kind of going off on tangents. This is my favorite part. So because I enjoy it the most, I think hopefully that comes through, and I hope people enjoy it as just as much as I do. But maybe we will pull up some more tunes to listen to. I know folks who are watching this may have seen Devoid or Primeval before, may have seen those music videos, but maybe they haven't. I was thinking it would be kind of cool to pull maybe one of those up. If you had to pick one or the other, James, what would you pick?
Well, I guess, Primeval is the first song on the album. I wrote Primeval.
Okay.
It is the one that Gord wrote, and it's as contenders, I think they'd go head to head and one couldn't knock out the other.
Right.
They each have equal balance divinity wise on the divinityometer. But I'm gonna have to pick my song because it's me here.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah, if Gord was on, he could have said his song, but since he's not, James gets to pick.
Okay, Primeval. So here, I'm gonna get this queued up. You want to set this up for folks, James?
Okay, well, Oh, that was Devin standing on Jeff.
Hold on, I'm gonna go grab it. There you go. Oh, that didn't work.
No, it was there already.
Hold on. Yeah, so I'll let you set that up, and I'm gonna fix out my technical issues right now, and we'll talk about this picture later.
Cool. Okay, so Primeval you want me to talk about, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
So, Primeval the main riff in that song is the first riff that I was working on for the new music when it was kind of like, okay, we got to write new stuff now. What are we going to write? And that's how it works. Writing riffs sometimes, like I'm going through a bit of a rut right now in my creative ability inside my mind. It's just nonstop. I got metal symphonies brewing in my guts at all moments. If I stop talking, I will have that in my mind. That's kind of how I work.
Yeah.
Try to put it into music. It doesn't work very well. You have to try to like catch a thing at the moment and grab onto it and be like, hey, that's a good idea. I'll use this. And hopefully I can form this whole big metal song out of that idea. But you can't take the idea that's in your mind or the things that are happening in your mind and just get them onto music.
I've always wondered that with songwriting. Like if there's people that are they can just hear something in their head and then they can just make it happen. So it's not that easy, not that crystal, not that kind of easy of a transition. And then also I could see that too. Like you have an idea for a cool riff, but then you're stuck, in traffic or you can't write it down right away and you lose it. Does that ever happen where you have something really sick in your mind and then it's gone and you'll never get it back? Does it ever piss you off?
Dude, that's the exact problem that every musician or every artist will always have till the end of time. If it was my mind,
yeah.
I think the world would just be obliterated, scorched earth, like hurtled into a black hole. That would be happening if it was my mind that we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that out as art? That's why I say, like,
all right. Very good setup of Primeval.
The point is that I had to grab this thing. I love this riff, the one that goes da da do 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 do. It's just that moving eighth note riff.
Right,
and
right.
once I found those magic notes, the whole rest of the riffs all wrote themselves, and they're all interconnected with that sequence of notes. So all the chords, all the slides, and moving to this one and that one. Everything in there is all built on that one riff. So I nailed it. I found the riff that I wanted. Bam, that's awesome. Perfect. I love it. And then I built all these other riffs on it. And Gord put his crazy solo. If you've heard it, Gord's solo is nuts. At the end, the whammy bar stuff and all, the song totally came together. And way better than I thought it would at the start. Like with a song like Distorted Mesh, old song, I wrote that in literally 15 minutes, the whole song. It just came out of me, boom. But in this circumstance, the riff just came out of me, and then eventually over about a year, the whole song just wrote itself. Everybody put their parts on it. Jeff and Sean are writing vocals and lyrics and ideas, and I'd go over to Jeff's and we'd all work together on it, get nothing, and then other days get all kinds of stuff. And we really did work as a team to make the whole song truly a great song. So I think everyone in the band, at least, thinks that this is a great song for us.
Right.
We've succeeded in making an awesome Divinity song. And that's the cool thing about this album for us is whatever anybody else thinks or how many copies you sell on Spotify so you can get like 25 cents for 1 million streams or whatever it is these days. I think that those songs are the best that we can put out, each one of them on the new album. That's the best we could do. If you go back to The Immortalist, there's parts on it where I would say, okay, there's parts that are monumentous to me, like DMT, where we had speed on that song.
Right, yeah, Björn Strid, yeah.
it. I love it. I'm so proud of what I came up with there. Sean gave me a riff, and I turned it into that. Speed put his vocals on it too. Wow, I'm so stoked about that. But there's other parts where I'm like, I wish I would have done something a little different there. Not that I'm not proud of it or something, but
that's an incredible collaboration. So yeah, let's pull up, let's listen to some Primeval, and then we'll chat some more when we get back from that.
Comment, so What's his shirt say there? Is that Schecter Guitars?
Actually nice we get to see James play a bit on the show too tonight. In the video.
Actually, I'm more stoked for Sean's facial expressions.
Nice.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Nice. Oh, is that the Swiss cheese symbol there?
It is.
Is it there?
It's there. Is he hitting it? It sounds kind of broken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice. Nice. James, you said you listen to your own music, so I'm sure that wasn't a chore at all to have to listen to again, hey?
Oh, it's fine. I should play along every time so I can remember how to play the fucking thing.
Yeah, you'd have to get ready to start playing this stuff live, hopefully next year sometime, sooner rather than later.
Maybe play next decade, yeah.
No, not next decade. Next year. Come on, aim for next year.
Now I should have brought this up when we were talking earlier. This is you guys a little bit younger.
Sir Ganig Regrub. There he is. Burger King backwards for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember well. I remember that day. I can't believe I do, but look at Brett. How young he is, eh? Look at all of us.
All of us, all of you guys.
And the hair, everyone has hair.
So that was before the pact to grow hair long. That must have been then.
I think we saw these pictures and then we were like, we got to do something, boy.
You don't look metal enough.
No, we had to go with it. We had to do it for sure. This is totally what happened.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. And we're talking about the beginning of the show. Like you know Jay. For you guys go back a ways. Do you live together? Is that right, Jay?
Yeah, very briefly we lived together.
Yeah.
At James's house, aka the clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Okay.
How long was that? It lasted like 2 months. We lived together. 3 months.
Oh, that was it.
4 months. It wasn't very long.
Because your electrical bill compiled to like $90, remember? And then I was like, you have to pay the $93. And you're like, fuck you, dude. I'm out of here.
That's not what happened. You're so full of shit.
I don't remember anything that happened 15 years ago. All I remember is I actually guessed the number of people that I had living in the house. You were one of them, Jay. How many people in total, excluding myself, lived in the clubhouse?
Okay, so the ones that I know of would have been Yoshi, Aaron, and well, you started the house, I believe.
Yes, correct.
I lived there. When I lived there, Fox lived there.
Oh shit.
I know I'm missing more. Did Jeremy live there? Jeremy must have lived there. If he didn't officially live there, he definitely lived on the couch.
He tried. Exactly. And then we had Shane, and then we had
Trevor. Yeah, Shane was there.
Holy shit, how many people lived in that goddamn house?
Well, not at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Not at the same time.
Fuck, I was like, that's a lot of people.
Churning them out and new people because I needed to pay this rent. But we had a great place to party, and it was a good home base. I mean, we just, it was crazy, man. We go way back, Jay. There's so many stories. It would be ridiculous. We don't have time to get into.
Well, and like you even said, we're getting old and don't remember half of them anymore.
Well, I was gonna ask, but maybe you already kind of answered this. Like, what was the best part of living together, and what was the worst part? But I guess it was only 3 months, so
yeah, it was pretty short. I mean, so because when I moved in there, I had actually moved back home, and it was my first place going out of my parents' place again.
Oh, okay, wow.
So
wow, okay.
So I think it was like 2000, 2001. I lived there.
Oh wow,
somewhere around there.
Wow, okay.
The best part was, hey, I was living in the party house all of a sudden. Who doesn't like living at the party house? The worst part though was you're living at the party house.
Well, you don't know that you're the party house, just like you don't know that the shit you do is crazy until you look back, and then you're like, look at all this stupid crap I've done, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Until you look back. So we just had this place. I got this place, and it was the first. When I got this house, I was living in residence at SAIT, so I wanted a place. I got this crappy basement garbage place. I lost that, didn't pay the rent or something, and then we got this house, and it was like this new dedication to like, we're gonna have this house, we're gonna be responsible, and then we can live outside of all these controlling factors, like, you know, like your parents when you're like 19 years old, you're trying to find a way out. So yeah, man, we all just partied at my place and all the time.
So did James look like that photo that we
Yeah.
pulled
Oh,
up?
yeah, he totally did, yeah. That, and then he was also driving this. What was it? The Z. It was a 280, or it wasn't a 300, but
300 ZX.
was it a 300 Z? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it was an old one.
Do you remember the pole?
Yeah, I do. I wasn't gonna bring that up. I'm surprised you did.
Bring up the what? What is this?
Next time you're going up 10th Street, you just go over there and check out the pole. It's still got the dent.
Yeah, I don't live very far from there. It's actually not far from my house at all. I mean, because I'm just over by the university in Varsity.
Perfect. Well, you can go.
You drove into a pole? What happened?
He slid into a pole. I don't know if driving. Yeah, you could call it that.
Dude, it was not good. Let's just say that the road curves, and if you go there now, the chip out of the concrete is now repaired because they fixed the sidewalk, but for years it was there. And then quite a ways away from that is a pole with a big dent in it.
Okay, all right.
The shape of the pole in it, and the pole has the shape of my car in it.
So James, I'm gonna sharply change topic here, but I just realized I wanted to play something for you, and thanks again for letting me listen to the whole new album coming out, Invention. Absolutely fantastic, folks. Definitely need to check this out when it drops. But my favorite Divinity song is actually a lesser known like Divinity song. It's up on your guys' YouTube page. I don't know why this song hasn't gotten more hits, more views. There's only 128 views on YouTube for this song. And I don't understand why, because this is it's just brilliant. It's just I can't imagine what was going through your mind when you came up with this genius song. So I'm gonna play this, put this up, and then you can let me know if you're ever going to, because this is like a bit demo. It's a bit demo quality, but let me know if you're ever going to make a heavier version of this track, because I would really love to hear it. So we're gonna pull this up. 1 second. Perp. Okay. All right.
Oh shit.
Pretty like a set of tits on a Tuesday. Like a set of tits on Tuesday. I can't wait to get my hands on those. Yeah.
You know, it gets me right here.
It kind of gets me right here.
Right
here.
You know, it's a Wednesday, but we can still listen to Tits on a Tuesday on a Wednesday, I think.
Oh
So
my god.
that
That's
was
gold, isn't it? And I together a lot of time.
yeah. It's a good collaboration there. Yeah. What was the inspiration for Tits on a Tuesday?
I would actually wager a guess it was Tits on a Tuesday.
The best part of that song is when he goes, I can't wait to get my hands on those tits. He just draws it out perfectly. Like if you're a producer and you were like recording this guy and like, you've got to get this serious, but it's a jokey song. We'll get it. We've got to make it sound good. If he did that, he'd be like, okay, we got it. First take. Yeah. Sick. It's on Tuesday. Done.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
Honestly, this piano was in the studio and is a beautiful grand piano. It's not very often you get to play a really nice piano.
And you've played you since you were a kid, right? Was piano the first instrument you ever played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I could like make sound on the piano, my parents were like, "Yeah, you got to give him lessons. He knows what he's doing." So I did that, and oh yeah, man, I was a piano player my whole life. I had my grade 8 Royal Conservatory when I was like 16, and I won't say I pissed it away, but I needed Metallica more than I needed to be a leader of an orchestra or something. I don't know what I would have done in my career, but I could have done something serious with music if I was like that kind of guy. But as we've explained with the party house and the, people falling on their heads and drunken retarded stuff and crashed cars and shit.
Maybe even the odd DDT was had there. I do recall seeing some of those.
Like so many stories. We had a crazy time. We partied a lot, but we were just friends. We loved being around each other, and we had our own little motley crew kind of circumstances, right?
Wait, DDT, we're talking about the wrestling move?
Yeah, we are.
Is that what we're talking about?
There was DDTs from time to time.
the Diamond Cutter? Isn't that Diamond Dallas Page? The DDT, didn't he do DDTs or no? He did the Diamond Cutter. The Diamond Cutter.
Shane and Jeremy, after we got kicked out of that bar because they were body slamming each other on the pool table, we finally made it back to our house, and they started throwing me down the hallway as like a bowling ball, and I'm small and they're big guys, and they're just ripping me down. This is the kind of stuff we do instead of like going to sleep so you can wake up and go to school tomorrow. We were having fun. So
yeah,
where were we?
Piano.
Yeah, you playing piano since you were a kid. Yeah.
So yes, piano. Okay, I was very good at piano, but it did nothing for me spiritually.
Gotcha.
When I heard Metallica, I heard Disposable Heroes. My cousin put me in the vehicle and said, in his dad's car, and said, "You got to hear this. Check this out." And he was so proud to show me because he knew it would blow my mind. Mm-hmm. And it blew my mind. I was changed. I ran home and I told my mom about Metallica, and I told her, I said, "I will like this music when I'm 80. I don't know how I know that, but I do." Right. And that was it. Enough piano, enough all that stuff. I need an electric guitar, and I need it now. Because I had been learning acoustic guitar, but that changed my life. That was it.
I find it frustrating when people say you're going to grow out of metal. Have you ever gotten that comment, Jay? It's a phase.
You know what? If I have, I've never acknowledged it.
Right.
So probably, but metal's not a fad.
But there's different kinds of metal, or different kinds of people listening to music, right?
Yeah.
True.
Like I'm different even listening to music than you guys might be, right? Being a musician who's writing songs, I hear things differently than you might hear them.
Absolutely.
If you're not always playing an instrument or have from the time you were young. Like Brett he has perfect pitch. He can pull it out of his mind and know exactly what that note is at any time, even though he's a drummer, right? But he's got that ability because we learned piano via ear training and proper training from a young age. So that just got instilled in us, and then now it's easier. But man, back to Tits on a Tuesday.
I am so happy you brought it back to Tits on a Tuesday.
Because that's how it's done. Back in the day, in the 80s or the 70s, when record labels would like find an awesome band and they'd be like, "Okay,
write a single,
a whole bunch of money so that we can tell you what to do. Now go spend your money and have fun, blah blah blah, and then wait for our call." And then they call, and then they got to go into the studio and write an album. But we're going to talk about what kind of album you're going to write, and we're going to actually make you into a band. So what do you guys do? What are your songs like? What are you doing? Okay, let's do this. And when I was down in Nashville for all of Maria's albums, as you guys know as well, we're working with a big producer, Michael Wagner. He told me many stories about how they used to make records. That takes forever, but it's about creativity and what are you going to get out of the moment in all these moments of being able to make something.
Sorry, how is this related to Tits on a Tuesday?
Because proper inspiration to be creative, and sometimes it just happens perfectly. I couldn't hear what Jeff was singing because the piano was so loud to me and where I was sitting that I didn't even know he was singing. I was jamming myself on easy major keys. And Jeff is right there with me, singing along, just in his own mind. He doesn't even care. He's just being goofy, having fun. And look what it turned into. You could make that into the most epic song right now. I could do it. I could pull up my computer, fire up the keyboard here, get some big synths on it and some drums. I could make Tits into a Tuesday like this.
Well, I think that's exactly what Wally's asking you to do. That's
it's going to take a lot of time, but I don't want to do it right now.
No. If you were so inspired, so inclined to do that, I would play a clip of you saying this, and I would play it on a future show because that would be so hilarious to play both versions back to back, where it came from and where it's going to. I think that'd be hilarious.
Well, I guess I'm saying that was one of those magic moments in the studio that we weren't doing that. That's not what we were doing. We were just fucking around on a different instrument. We were doing drums. There is what we were doing. Supposed to be doing. And instead, we were doing this, and we could do that all day long. Like, I mean, Jeff is going to do his side project, Dennis, very soon, and actually make it a reality. And he'll be wearing sweatpants. He might have a boner.
Wait, what is this? What is this? So Jeff, the vocalist of Divinity, he's going to... No, he's not the vocalist. Sorry, what am I saying? Vocalist.
Yes,
He's a vocalist.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's a second vocalist, right? So Jeff's... Okay, so what's this project called?
Well, it's just in his own mind for 20 years. But he's got all the song titles. He could write all the lyrics in about 10 minutes. Don't worry.
Okay.
You just say, hey, we need like an accordion sound now. So I could pull that up on the keyboard here. And I'll get an accordion sound, and it will just make a thing, and it'll go. Dun, 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 dun,
so wait, he's got to wear sweatpants. What is he's wearing sweatpants? What is this? What is this? You've piqued my curiosity now.
The album is probably going to be called Sweatpants Boner when it comes out.
Okay. That's love it.
That's just one of those things that you could do if you had enough time to actually work on your own stuff, that your creative ability. You know, I think we might just stop making albums and do funny videos, like Drumming with Brett.
Sweatpants Boner, just on a Tuesday.
You know what? Like that's the kind of shit too that can trend on YouTube sometimes. You can get something that'll all of a sudden become like well noticed, and then all of a sudden you guys get like all this visibility on you once again from doing something stupid shit on YouTube or something like that.
Well, who knows? You're gonna have to do something because, like you said, you know that Tits on a Tuesday only has 120 views.
Right.
You need to that up and get
come on, everybody! You know, whoever watches this, and I'll have to share it on the Wicked Wally page if that means anything. On the webcast page, I'll share it and be like, you know, absolutely my favorite Divinity song of all time. Well, it's not really Divinity, right? It's actually listed as something else here. I might have closed it off.
Actually trying to help me or not. Tits on a Tuesday and start sharing Primeval, please.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll definitely do that. Actually, that's a good idea. Going forward too, I should be when I have guests on and stuff, I should be sharing their tunes before the show or at least after. So yeah, I'll definitely do more of that going forward. Good tip.
I'll give you a retweet. Don't worry, I gotcha.
Cool. All right. So in terms of we've chatted about a lot. If there's anything you can think of, James, that you want to talk about more, we can do that. There's a few other things I could pull up, but we've gone almost 2 hours. I thought maybe it'd be fun to pull up a different band. So this is a band, industrial metal band. We'll do this really quickly. We'll take a look at their music video. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. But this came across me. It was emailed to me. Neo Argento. Have either of you heard of that? James, have you heard of it? I know. It looks like Jason has.
No.
Yes, if I am not mistaken, Neo Argento, one of the guys in Disharmonia Monday.
Oh, really?
Ettore Rigatti is involved. He's a producer,
right?
Or plays on it. There's a relationship there.
He is a producer. Yeah, producer, musician, remixer. Neo Argento has worked with artists such as Death by Sunday, Vamps, Disharmonia Monday, Rise to Fall, The Stranded, Massive Ego, Lady Faith, alongside he remixed songs for fan clubs of Korn, Prodigy, and Gorillaz. So this guy, yeah, he's a pretty prolific producer. This is his 5th studio album. This came across my way. This was emailed to me through Rock Shock Rock Shot Records, and I knew Jay would be something that'd be kind of up your wheelhouse, and I want to get your opinion on it and what you think about it and what you think of it, and also James as well while you're still sticking around. James, can you stick around just for another 10 minutes? We'll check out this track and then wrap it up.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So yeah, this is again the 5th studio album from Neo Argento. Album is called Circles. This was actually released in September, so you can watch this wherever you can get this album right now, wherever you get your music. So I would recommend.
I'm slacking. I didn't even know this came out.
And he's from Italy. Yeah. I am. There, Neo Argento. All right, let's pull this up.
Stoked. I didn't know this came out.
Yeah, buddy. This is just for you, man. And he wears a Disharmonia Monday shirt to the show, which is perfect.
This is one of my favorite metal shirts.
Yeah.
One of these days it's going to have holes in it. I'm not going to be able to wear it anymore. Like my Divinity shirt, there's a huge hole in the armpits.
Jen makes me throw away all my clothes with holes.
Yeah.
But Neo Argento, I think you're going to love it. You are an industrial guy, so
yeah, absolutely. I do like the electronic and the industrial metal stuff.
Mix,
yeah,
metal mix, yeah. I do too, though.
And masks. I mean, hey, but a little bit of mask in your metal. Go one of the dudes with the plague doctor mask, very apropos with all the pandemic going on.
Yeah, actually, very good point, actually. Wow.
I'd break myself for you. I'd kill myself for you. No one to blame but your light has slowly faded. It's complicated.
Wow. This is your wheelhouse, right, Jay?
You know, I'd say this might be a little bit too top 40 for me.
Yeah, okay.
But I bet you there's other stuff on this album that's probably a little heavier.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I was really curious. I want to get your thoughts on it. That's why.
Yeah, he's a little radio friendly here, but
a little bit, yeah.
I can still get behind this. There's good screams.
Right.
But see, that should be a good growl in there.
Right.
The that would hit home a little harder.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, if you check out the album, let me know what else you hear on it. If there's anything on there that you like more, it's heavier.
Actually, I should do that right now while we're talking.
Yeah.
Let me go put it on my to listen to list.
Because there's a heaviness to it, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of it's very clean and poppy in parts for sure.
Have you listened to the whole thing?
Huh?
Have you listened to the whole album?
I haven't yet. No. I've listened to a couple tracks off it though.
So this is Circles, is the album, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brand new one. Yep.
All right. Well, this is my drive home tonight.
Sounds good.
This is my drive here was Divinity. Drive home can be Neo Argento.
Actually, I think in the future, maybe if there's something I think you like, I'll let you know.
Sure.
And then you can bring in your expert opinion on it when you have a chance to digest it and let me know what you think.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys, came onto my radar because of Disharmonium, because of Ettore Rigatti.
Right.
Because he's got his hands in so many different things. And
Yeah.
some of the stuff he does, I don't care for. A lot of the stuff he does, I really dig. So I try and pay attention to the stuff he's working on, because you get some good stuff that pops up all the time with him.
Right. And James, we're going to pull you back up on the screen here. What do you think? And not nearly as heavy as Divinity.
I mean, there's a million things I could say about it, just like every piece of music I would hear.
What do you want to say, though?
Well, I would say that this, to me, that represents, without trying to sound like a complete ass, it represents the death of feel in music and the death of the human element and our transition into the future, which is scary as shit, and we may live forever in ones and zeros. Does that scare you?
That scares the shit out of me, actually. Yeah. I've you know what? We're at the wee hours. We have 5 viewers right now. Oh, Hellspeak YYC, Wicked Show, you guys. Thanks so much. And folks, for the technical issues earlier, sorry about that. But looks like everything's working now. And you can watch the show later too. It should be fine. But you know what? We're at the wee hours. Jay, are you ready to have to take off or no?
This was all I had planned tonight.
Let's you know what? Let's get in. James, before we had this, when we first reached out to you, you're like, hey, let's. Is it free form? Can we talk about anything? Can we talk about anything? He's like, like I'm political and I have conspiracy theories that I believe in, and I'm all this kind of shit. So you know what? We're gonna go to the dark web version, the dark Wicked Wally webcast right now. Let's talk about that. That's a very cool concept about AI taking over. Is that kind of where you're going with this, James? Like if you're worried about, because already Elon Musk is talking about putting chips in people's heads. And so you can like download information or learn skills. It's almost like the fucking Matrix. And that frightens me. I had a long conversation with my fiance about this. And it's like, man, I do not want a chip in my head. But then if everyone's doing it, they're going to have an unfair advantage, right? Then because of that unfair advantage, everyone's going to want that. So in terms of zeros and ones, it's going to start there. And then maybe we're going to want to we're going to be all interconnected to one another. That's the shit that scares the crap out of me. I don't know. James, what are your thoughts? Or what tangent do you want to go down talking about
all
this?
of them?
Yeah, there is a lot of tangents here.
Because we were a metal show, now we're taking a little...
I see his eye twitching. He just wants to get in there
We're taking a sharp turn.
Jay, you and I saw The Matrix together, right?
Yeah, we did, actually.
Remember, I went to get popcorn. I came in and it was black and there was nothing. And I was so baked. We were all I missed everybody. So I'm walking into the theater with my pop and my popcorn, and there's all black. And if you remember The Matrix, when it starts, there's just the writing on the screen on the top left corner, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Nemo, about to fuck with your life, or whatever it says. And there's no light in the entire theater. And I'm so baked, and I'm looking around, and then this little blip of light came on the screen,
right?
And I could see something, and it was just filled with people. There wasn't one seat anywhere to sit. So I'm so baked and so freaked out and don't know what to do. So I just looked, and I found one right at the front on the side, the shittiest seat in the theater, and I just sat there. But I gotta watch The Matrix now. Anyway.
And since then, you've never been the same. There's something in that movie that just kind of like made you. I think
we went and saw that movie 3 times the first week it came out.
Wow.
To me, The Matrix started me down the path of thinking that way. So as soon as I saw that movie, I was never the same. It made a lot of things make sense for me. This could be an 8-hour conversation. It's a good thing we don't have anything to help. Jay and I go way back. Singularity, when we wrote the Singularity.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of this was in the Singularity.
Oh, excellent. Okay, it's a transition. We're talking about the music again. Awesome.
Well, approaching the Singularity, that's the last song on the Singularity, and the chorus is 2030 AD. Approaching the singularity.
Oh.
Archived and relived at any time.
Right. So in the context of the singularity there, you're talking about the human mind and human condition merging with the machine and becoming one. Isn't that the concept of the singularity there?
Well, I believe it was Ray Kurzweil.
Yeah.
Who came up with the idea originally or whatever, and it's based. It also comes from Terence McKenna, I think, had a lot to do with this. And then you get into the Akashic record and all that stuff, where everybody, if you can tap in, you can know the knowledge, kind of thing. But anyways, he says that technological curve will increase to a degree where it's so straight up and down that there is no more reality, because it'll just mean that any decision we make doesn't matter.
Oh,
Ones and zeros is all that matters anymore.
I don't know.
We can't understand that, but that's the concept of that whole album that we wrote, which is actually right behind my head here. That's
the album cover.
So that's the eye from the Singularity, which is all ones and zeros through that curved space-time thing that you see. That's the whole thing. Our music is about conspiracy theories. Now, they used to be conspiracy theories back in the day.
Yeah, they're becoming more and more reality, aren't they?
They're reality. 99% of the stuff that I started looking into via, actually, Sean was the first one who started to do this, and it started with aliens and crop circles and shit, and inner earth beings and blah, 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 and drugs. Once you do some mushrooms, you realize that things are not as they are. And you can find out some stuff if you're careful, and you delve carefully. So throughout the years and years of writing all this,
it's become the Joe Rogan podcast all of a sudden.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I drove all day.
Well, you have a song DMT off of the Immortalist, fantastic track, and it's I mean,
DMT is definitely something that helps people expand their minds.
Yeah, I can
delve into parts of their psyche.
I can say that it does. I can say that it does for sure. When you're talking about all this stuff too, it's funny. Science fiction. Talking about the Matrix, the nerd in me. I'm thinking about Star Trek, the Borg. Everyone's connected, right? Hive mind. You know, that's sort of. It's probably not going to be that. It's probably going to be a little bit different. But it is frightening. It is really frightening. That singularity. You listen to mention Joe Rogan. He talks about, are we just going to give birth to the next life form? Are we really is humanity the end all be all? Or are we just actually giving life to this technology that's going to be the new life?
Well, evolution, life always changes, right? So what is the evolution of humanity?
Right.
So is our evolution to machine, or does humans evolve into a new type of human?
Right.
That is partly machine.
Well, and this is where I hope that it goes that way. New human.
Yeah, not new machine.
And when I think about let's just think about my week. I'm not going to even explain my week to you guys. It was crazy. It was one of those weeks where everything that I was connected to itself and back inside itself again. And is it me, or is this a simulation? Is it a joke on me? What is the deal? Is there a God that's trying to guide me? Or is it just my own thoughts projected out in front of me? Or is it me projecting behind me? Like, what is now? Am I actually in control of my day? Or am I just reacting constantly? Reacting to something? Or am I creating that path? That's where I don't understand. But that's where I'd want to be. I'd want to be in that frame of mind. And I know you guys, Jay and I have talked about this at length. It's been many years.
I'm sure you guys have.
Yeah, we totally got each other, and we could do that for hours, because that search for humanity is what all of us are trying to do. Most of us are just too scared to do it, and the people who aren't too scared to do it sometimes end up in failure and destruction, because it's a scary road when you start to go down the rabbit hole. So the Matrix told us all, the rabbit hole exists. You want to go down it? You better get some balls up. I mean, people in the past have gone to war at -40 for months and lived. What have you done? Fucking nothing.
I don't have any fucking desire to go to war in -40. Why the fuck would I want to do that?
Let's sit here and listen to metal. Let's put on Blackwater Park, and I'll watch you guys drink some beers, because I don't drink beer anymore. So
he doesn't drink beer either. I'm only one in this college drinks beer.
I don't either. I drink near beer. Yeah, I have health issues. It's probably getting old. I can't tolerate alcohol at all anymore. It's terrible.
Brown is actually a decent beer. It is.
Which? Well, duels. I actually not a sponsor. Hashtag not a sponsor, but Partake Brewing. They're out of Ontario. You can order their stuff. You can get it freaking Safeway now, if anything. But Partake Brewing. They're like a craft beer, and they have a stout, and they have an IPA, and they have a red as well, and a blonde. And it actually doesn't taste like water. It's actually very delicious non-alcoholic beer, which is very hard to find.
If I see it, I'll pick some up and try it out.
Yeah. I would love if they did sponsor us. If anyone from Partake happens to hear this show, please sponsor the Wicked Wally webcast.
For sure. Send some non-alcoholic beers our way.
Right.
Free non-alcoholic beer.
Jay's not excited at all.
I'm not. No, but that's okay. You guys can have mine. I will give you my share.
That would be really generous of you, Jay. Yeah.
So what other conspiracy theories are on your mind, Wally?
That's a really good question. You know, the integration of human beings with technology, that frightens me. You know, there's a lot of things now, and it's on my mind. I don't know if I buy into it, but they're talking about like the fall of empires. You know, and you look at the United States as kind of the leader of the world right now, in some ways. And you know what things are, so much is going on there right now that, you know, is that going to change? Is it, you know, and there's, you look at the Roman Empire and things that happened there, and some of those things are kind of on my mind. What's going to happen with the U.S. and we're kind of their close neighbors, and we rely on them so much, being close neighbors and their economy. And if things go tits up there, what's going to happen to us? So it's not really maybe a theory, but well, maybe kind of just. A cautionary tale from the past that seems to be repeating itself, but I don't know. Or maybe things will be fine because we have technology now. We have the internet. Things
I think the internet's making it worse, not better.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, there's too many specifics in that whole thing to talk about, like
all of
right
it.
Now.
Yeah, way too many things to get into. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting the division that's been created in humanity? Think about that. How is it? We're not going to get into those terms that the world works on right now. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to say it that way because
that's a good idea.
You and I could talk literally for hours. You guys and me, like we could talk for hours and hours and just have fun and laugh and tell jokes, remember old funny stuff, and make predictions for the future or whatever all day long. But if we got into a topic that my mind or your mind was already stuck on, we wouldn't be able to move past it. So I'm not saying that would happen with us. I'm saying in general, when people are talking back and forth, especially in this social media way, at least with this social media way, I'm talking to you.
I can see your face. Yeah.
You can see that I'm not joking around right now. I'm kind of seeing myself, but it's my window covering my eyes, so I can't see my eyes, but whatever. Can I move that? Oh, I can.
There we go. We're 2 hours in and
jump back as soon as they don't touch it. Anyways,
there we go.
The point is that that's the problem that we have right now. So when you talk about melding with machines, we've already done it. Our existence doesn't incorporate going and getting milk from the cow and coming in and making sure the house is warm and then tending to the field, and then taking care of the sick little brother and making sure everyone lives today.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Everything has been done for us. Our new world exists in the internet. So ironically, when I'm on the farm this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was there. I'm on the farm. Guess what? None of this shit exists.
It's kind of, isn't it nice though to like separate yourself from all this?
This is what I'm saying. You can't separate. I can't separate. They'll tell me, get off the internet and you'll be safe. I can't get off the internet. How am I going to live? I got a job to do. I got stuff to do. I got a band to promote. I got bands to listen to. I got podcasts to listen to. I've got
Well, yeah, but that, because you choose to do all that stuff. If you wanted to unplug and get off, you could, but your life couldn't continue in the same way it is now. You have to make changes. You have to make adjustments. If you want that, then you need to change course and do that. You can't have both together at the same time.
That's right. You couldn't have it halfway. Just like an alcoholic who can't have one beer.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
That's the thing right there. You can't have it both ways. So that's so interesting to me when you're talking about like melding with machine. And we've been talking about that in Divinity's music for literally 20 years, those type of topics, you know. And now it seems that in this virtual reality that's been created for us all, that is our world now. We can't get away from it. What's happening down in the States that's going to dictate the next few years of the world, pretty much. You say it will, it won't, but you know it will.
Yeah.
And none of this shit's going away. Either way she goes, none of this shit is going away. So
No.
And if it goes the way some people want it to go, it might only get worse.
Right.
There's no one side of history. So here's the key. You're wrong. I'm wrong. Let's fucking fight the enemy that's actually there. We're not fighting ghosts anymore. We're not children. Let's fight things that actually exist. We know what is the enemy. Each person does, I guarantee it. But we're too busy squabbling over the toys that we can't actually get anything done. So that's what we need to do. Forget about the like merging with technology. Forget about the state's problems, and forget about fucking Orange Man being the problem here.
Right. Okay.
These problems have never, ever, ever been gone.
Right.
They're there. One side calls the other side Satan. That's it. You're fucking evil. So if that could change into, yeah, I don't like this, but I don't like this either. Like, just because I don't like mustard doesn't mean that you eating mustard is bad. I don't care. Just don't like squirt it in my mouth, please. That's it. It's that simple. These rules are so simple, and we could live by them all day long if we had to, but we don't have to. Right? So if people were forced to like, okay, but you guys got to get along or you'll die.
Right. Right. Yes. 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 And the crazy thing is that's what usually brings people together is times of war, times of. Although I mean we're in kind of a challenging time right now with the COVID, with the coronavirus, but it's pulling us apart. It's not bringing us
That's
together.
because it's not a tangible enemy. It's
That's probably why. Yeah.
It's how do you go and kill it?
It's
How do you go
nebulous.
fight it?
People believe that it exists. People don't believe it exists. Severity, you can argue all day, but like people don't believe it exists. Even like there's crazy stuff like that too. So,
Okay, have you watched Money Heist on Netflix?
I've heard of it. But no, I haven't watched it. And I heard it's a bunch of baloney, but at the same time, I haven't watched it, so I can't comment on it myself personally.
Well, Money Heist is just it's a series. I think it's from Italy. Is it Italy? Shit.
More Italy tonight. There's a lot of Italy tonight.
Italy, yeah. Nero Gento maybe knows about it.
It's so cool because the whole premise is that like this guy makes a plan. He puts together this plan to rob. Well, it's not to rob the bank. It's
I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, go ahead.
It's making money, right? So they're going to break into the mint, and they're going to like make the mint work for what they want. So they're going to go in there and make sure that they can print their own money.
Okay.
And they're going to get it somehow. Like it's insane. There's too many levels to this. But the coolest part about it is that there's multi-levels in this plan. The plan incorporates years of work and to get it all together. But there's so many different levels to the plan. It's not just the plan goes like this and then it just goes along. No, there's so many levels to it. So
okay, what's the just to simplify it? You're kind of losing me. What's the point you're making, James?
The point is that in this series, the reason I brought it up,
okay,
is because the plan go through with it, and the mastermind behind the plan, he's got it all figured out. So as you watch along, you're like, "There's no way that this is going to work out like that." And then by the end of the episode, you're like, He did make it work. He thought of that. You thought of that.
Is this fact or fiction, though?
Thought of that.
It's a fiction show, right?
Like, yes.
Scripted?
I think,
Yeah, so of course they can make it work out then.
of course. But I'm saying that in today's world, in all this crap that's going on in the world these days, where you've got this division of thought.
Right.
So one side thinks this, but the other side thinks that. Neither of those sides are getting it. Until you come together in the middle, you don't get the plan. You're not seeing anything.
Right. Yeah. I know where you're going. I know you're, and I understand why you'd be. I think you're slightly dancing around it, but it makes sense why you are, because you're not trying to be divisive right now. You're trying to promote your band. but you know, no, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, people come together and realize where the real issues are in our society and things we need to work on collectively. Yeah, instead of fighting, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting take. I appreciate you sharing that with us, James. Did we lose you? Oh no, you're still there.
No, he's still there.
Okay, good.
Just a funny thing I want to bring up to end that topic.
Okay, all right.
And you did notice it. I'm watching my words.
You are. Yeah, I can tell you are. Yeah.
Want to say, because I can get animated too. But if Jay and I were talking, just because we haven't talked in a while, and Jay's over here, maybe we'd have some kind of conversation. We just start talking. Don't record it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Can you imagine if cell phones, if these existed back 20 years ago when we were doing shit? Like, how much different our lives would have been?
Here's the point I want to make.
All right.
Everyone will get this. You'll get this. The other day, one of my absolute guitar heroes, musical heroes, posted a video of a song that he made that is not his regular style of music.
Okay.
And if upon first listen, it sounded like some amateur kid decided to make a dumb thing because of something that he thought or somebody told him. And you're kind of like, why is that? I don't get it. And this guy really pissed me off with that. Not because of the message in the stupid song he made, but because I know lots of people that completely would disagree with the content, but at the same time wouldn't really care. I don't care what you think, you know, or which way you're going to vote and stuff. Like, I never care about that. Who cares?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But this guy's point was basically, if you're on the other side, screw you. And that sucks, because now I don't really feel like going to the concert when they come through. The content, I could care less. And I have lots of friends who also, I don't care what they think too about that stuff. I'm still their friend and they're my friend. Because it's just politics. But in this circumstance, he went way too far. And it just proves that we got to get together on this stuff again and remember what's important. The music that we're making, the music we enjoy together, that's one thing that we can be as a unit on, and everybody could agree with it. So our metal thing is working in that way. We can create unity that way, no matter what.
Yeah, their music. All right, so James, that is a great place to end it, I think. Thank you so much for joining us. Huh?
I got to go anyway, so thank you for stopping me.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, go get some sleep, go rest.
Perfect way to end the show. Thanks again, James, for joining us. Really appreciate it. The new album is fantastic. What's the release date one last time for Invention? What's the release date for that?
December 11th.
December the 11th. Make sure you find it, I guess, wherever music's available.
Divinity.ca, go to Bandcamp. It's all over the place.
All over the place. So definitely, yeah. And like I said, thanks for letting me listen to the album. It is amazing. It's incredible.
James, I'm going to steal it from him.
Go ahead.
All right.
If I would have been here today, I would have given you a heads up.
That's okay. It's good to come in blind and hear something brand new with right on the show. So I don't mind at all.
Nice to see you here, and thanks, Wally, for keeping that a bit of a secret. I know that I did see that Jay was a part of your show now.
Right.
But I didn't know how it was all going to piece together. And like earlier, I actually forgot about it today.
Nice.
And then I'm like, oh shoot, I got to do this, and I couldn't wait. It was going to be fun. And then all of a sudden, Jay's face is on the screen. So it was awesome.
Awesome, dude.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Yep, good talking to you, dude. We'll chat again soon.
Wow. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. I was always loved talking to James. I mean, like you said, we go way back, so we don't talk as often as we should. So yeah, that's cool. Very happy to talk.
I almost get the feeling though, like he could have just continued the conversation the whole show. he's got a lot to say, man. He's got a lot of cool thoughts and lots of things. So usually I'm a chatty Cathy on the show.
James looks at the world through a magnifying glass, so it's you can always get his opinion out of him.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to let folks know here. We got some cool upcoming shows. The next two shows are planned out, what we got coming up. So I'm going to let folks know what we got coming up on the next 2 weeks of the Wicked Wally webcast. Let's pull this up. All right. So upcoming shows. Actually, we can turn the music up a little bit now that James is. There we go. So upcoming shows, episode number 5 on October the 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Mountain. Wednesday, of course, Wally Wednesdays, always Wally Wednesdays. Interview with the epic power metal band Osiren.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and guest host is Montana. And actually, I just heard Vito's going to be joining us for that show as well. So we're going to have Montana and Vito in studio.
Dual co-hosts.
Dual co-hosts. It's going to be
Wow.
off the chain. I don't know. So yeah, Osiren coming up on the 5th, and then Wednesday, November the 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain. Keep saying it. Episode number 6, We Rise from the Flames is the name of the episode. Interview with metalcore rockers. They've actually recently changed their sound. They got a new vocalist about a year ago. It's pretty cool. From the Flame with brand new music, and the guest host on that is Vito. And Jay, maybe you'll be back after that. I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure yet. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do for that show. So if you have any ideas, let me know.
Okay.
Any bands you want me to reach out to? When we want to try to get on the show, let me know. I got a couple of things. Hands in a couple different pies.
Irons in the fire.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. So hopefully we'll have something lined up. We will. We'll have something lined up.
You'll get something.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So thanks again, folks. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in tonight and whoever's watching this after the fact. Again, if you can, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Wicked Wally Webcast, and there is the Facebook link down. You'll see in the bottom of the screen. That's not real. It won't be until we get 100 subscribers. So please help us out with that. Smack that like button, hit the bell so you get notified when we go live, and also follow us on Twitch. This is where the show is broadcast live every single week, every single Wednesday, and we have a Facebook page and Instagram as well. We're going to be posting some stuff up there, constantly posting stuff up there as well. Anyway, folks, thanks again. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks again, Jay, for joining me. And this is Wally and Jay signing off. Tune in next week. Same Wednesday, same Wicked time, same Wicked channel. This is Wicked Wally and Jay signing out.
See ya.